Okay, so I know there is a lot of people probably thinking that I have this image of the moon oversized on the Earth where I have it overlaid right here. Let me just show you something. And let me tell you something, first of all. I've been working with these images for a long time. Long time. And you'd think I'd have the size down by now. I mean, basically, the size, this is the size it turns out to be no matter what you get. I mean, once you get to the point where you got things set, this is the size it turns out to be, okay? And let me just show you something here. Let's take a measurement from here to here. About 3,200 miles, right? Let's do it from here to here. 3,200 miles, right? Okay, let me show you something. See that circle right there on the Earth? See this circular pattern right here? That's a beautiful, perfectly circular pattern on the Earth. Let's take a measurement of that circle from here to there. 3,200 miles, wherever, 31, 32. From here, same thing. So I'm just saying, you may not think that that's the same thing, but there's circles that show themselves in the weather. Not the ones that like I showed in the last video. That's like a pole spot, and it's partially the same thing. Just the center of it is what you're seeing. There's like a center area of that, but then you have this one here, and you have this continent of North America, like right here. You see this. You start from here. Let's say it go about. It's this whole thing. You'll see Mare Oriental's pattern right in the middle, right here, right in the middle of North America, right here. I showed that pattern so perfectly before. It just goes this whole thing. Circular pattern right there, large. And there are other places that aren't as obvious. Here's Central Asia, big circular pattern right here. This is also a circular pattern right here with Siberian Traps right in the middle. I'm just basically want to point this one out at least. You see that, and you see that picture I have of the moon, of Mare Oriental Basin, and everything fits with this. It really, I mean, I may make things look large, and they are kind of large to fit this because I got this at the equator basically of the Earth, and the other images, like I'll take Australia from down here, from a picture of it, and I have to bring it up here. And it does turn out to be a little tiny bit larger, but it's not any extreme amount of size. It's not overly large. Let me put it that way. Everything lines up when you put it like this, set it like this. Everything, every time, every time. So this is the size. That's the size of Mare Oriental Basin on the moon. It's about 3,000. Let's just say 3,000 miles across. I mean, just to be safe, 3,000 each time, any way you go. This is the size. The center is the size of that area that I showed in Australia, and the same size that I showed in China earlier in the last video, or the video that's gonna, yeah, I'll download this one afterwards. So I'm just saying, there's the pattern. We see that there's patterns that size on the Earth already that match the same exact size. So just it's something to think about. That's all I'm saying. Just think about that. You have, I'm not saying this hit right here. I'm saying this was over here. Africa was actually over here, and I've shown that before. Africa and everything else was South America was right here. North America, if you take North America and all this whole land chunk right here, but keep it together just the way it is, bring it over here, put South America, line up the happy face, and then put the west coast of North America right there. It just goes there. And it goes up here as well. You'll see the Hawaiian Island chain goes in there and goes right here. Everything starts over here where the subduction is in these big holes. You got like this double impact here, like in the Punisher skull thing. You put the one eye will be here and the other eye will be here. It's just interesting. I just want to point that out. Something to think about. I mean, when you look at these circles, you do the same thing right here. You do the same thing right here. Just go 3,000 miles across. Some are probably smaller than that. Some of them probably are. But that's definitely a big one. That's a big impact right there. Left a big mark, and it was saying it matches in size exactly. And I wasn't thinking about that when I put that there at all. I actually just thought about that. I was looking at it thinking, that's just another thing, that shows. Something to think about. That's all. Just think about it. Make of it what you will.